Hey everybody, Barrett here, the head agency partner sales trainer for HubSpot. I'm really excited to have you join us for Inbound Sales Day. And today in particular, I want to talk about how sales has changed. And I personally have been in sales for over 8 years, and I've done everything from help open successful restaurants with multi-million-dollar a year revenue streams, hung out with celebrities, that was kind of fun as well. I worked for a startup for a little while and helped them go from a successful business to full acquisition by a major firm. I've done all sorts of versions of sales. And what I realized over the years is that sales is always changing. And I think the most interesting part for me is that even in those last 8 years, it continues to change and continues to evolve. And so the things that we focused on back then, it's nothing like what we focus on now. Now, for some of us, change is hard. And I read a stat recently that Google put out that the buyer's journey, the buyers that are coming to us, are 50% of the way there by the time they reach our door. Now, for sales folks, historically it was about educating our prospects, helping them to learn about our products and services and how we can solve their challenges, the things they're trying to overcome. With 50% of that conversation already taken up through education, through learning online, by Googling the answers to their questions, well, it creates a very different dynamic when they finally do reach us. And so today, I want to talk about the fact that people don't want to hear generic product pitches anymore. They don't want to have that simple, come buy our car now because it's on sale. Nobody wants that anymore. Think about the last time you went to buy something. You sat down to your computer and you Googled something. You Googled, what is the most kick-ass awesome pair of headphones I can buy? And Beats came up and Apple's setup came up and there's a bunch of different options. And you read some reviews maybe and you jumped on Facebook and you asked your friends about it. And perhaps you went to a forum and you learned some more. What is all this called? Well, it's called the buyer's journey. And here at HubSpot, we've defined this thing pretty well. When we talk about the buyer's journey, we're talking about that first instance of intrigue or question you have all the way through to that closed deal. So what does that really mean for us sales folks? Well, it means that our prospects are, like I said, significantly more educated when they reach us. They want to hear something in terms of a pitch that speaks to their needs, their individual needs, not a generic pitch. So what does that look like? Well, the good news is it gives us a chance to demonstrate our knowledge after the fact. The way that I think about it is, well, you guys are familiar with the movie Inception, right? Leonardo DiCaprio there and his whole mission to get in that guy's head and really understand what he was trying to do. And when I think about the new sales process, when I think about what we do here and what you guys should be thinking about, it works really well with that movie Inception. Now, I won't harp on the example here, but for those of you who haven't seen it, go check it out. It's a fun movie. Now, I don't want to learn about their fears. That's what they wanted to do in that movie. But what I want to learn about is things that are relevant to my sale. Now, in particular, it tends to be their needs, right? Their goals and their challenges. Now, of course, the common question is, well, how do I do that? How do I uncover their needs and challenges when I already have half those questions answered for me when they come to the door? Well, it's pretty straightforward. I want to start by having genuinely curious ways of asking things. I can't simply say, what do you do? Because I can find that on the internet. I want to dig in more. I want to understand my prospects' motivations, their personal needs. And that's the key word here, guys and gals. It's about personalization. I don't just want to put something out there for the sake of doing so. Sales is no longer black and white. It's gray. And as I mentioned, people are looking on social media. They're Googling around. They're getting their answers. So I need to be even more educated than my prospect. But I still need to gauge the amount of education they have when they get to my door. Now, some of you are asking, how do I do that? Well, I think about it like what, how, why. There's a couple different sales guys out there. They talk about different techniques, but for me, what, how, why has always worked really, really well. When I'm, regardless of my sale, talking to my prospect, I want to understand what they do there. I want to understand what they're focused on. What is your business all about? That's my level one. That's my high level question. And then I want to go a layer deeper. I want to ask them about how they do it. How are they manufacturing that good? How are they marketing or selling that product? How are they positioning the value of what they do? This is telling me more than just what they do, but like I said, how to understand specifically how to position my value to their needs. Now that third layer, the most key layer, is why. Why are you marketing your business that way? Why are you selling your product that way? Why are you having this challenge? And really digging into that is the key to the new sale. Because if they come with 50% knowledge, I don't really need to educate them. I need to understand specifically what in that education presented some gaps for them, some challenges, things that I have to overcome. And so when I think about asking about those challenges, or more importantly, those goals to start, there's a couple different ways to do so. So the way that I think about it, I can start by understanding what they're looking to achieve this year. At a very, very high level, that's a good starting point. But going a level deeper, like we talked about, I want to understand where they are now and where they want to be. Because what that does for me is helps me not to just understand their current goals, but their future goals and aspirations for how to grow the business, how to better market, how to better sell themselves. But I also want to understand where those goals are tasked from. Is it coming from them or someone else? This helps me understand if the individual I'm speaking with is the true decision maker. Now, we're all familiar with that term decision maker, I imagine, but because of the way that things have changed, because of education being so prominent in our sales process, it's quite often actually that we're finding that the individuals we're speaking to at the end of our buyer's journey here, the ones that are looking to actually buy, are simply still in that education phase. They're not ready yet to actually close the deal. And so determining or understanding if they are the true decision maker is equally valuable to make sure we spend the right amount of time with the right people. So now that I understand their goals, we're halfway there, I need to understand their challenges. I can sell on goals, I can sell on value all I want, but their challenges are the key to actually closing the deal. I'm sure we can all think of that one deal, that one opportunity, that one sale that we lost because the client simply said, it's a nice to have, it's not a need to have. So uncovering their challenges is the next step in our process. I want to understand what's keeping them up at night. Not for sake of just knowing who they are, but what about their job, about their business is keeping them up at night. Because if it's revenue, maybe I can solve for that. If it's marketability, maybe I can solve for that. What I'm trying to understand is how to drive my questions, drive the conversation towards my solution. So if their challenge is my dog's barking all night, well, I can't necessarily solve that unless I'm solving for some sort of a dog barking problem. But if it's that like I said, I need to actually increase my sales and my product is a marketing technology that closes deals, cough, cough, HubSpot, well, then it might actually be something that could solve for them. So at the end of the day, I want to ask questions that are targeted towards this buyer's journey. I want to understand any roadblocks they have hindering their productivity. I want to ask one of my favorite questions, what email chain or what group text do they want to delete to free up some time in their day? How can these challenges help us solve their problems? Well, it gives us a little peek into their mind, helps us understand the things that they're focused on, where their priorities are, and ultimately drives our sale home. So at the end of the day, guys and gals, it's important to understand the why of our prospects. Why do they need our service? What challenges are they trying to overcome? What are those goals that we're ultimately seeking out? And how can our product or service align to those needs? So thank you for joining me for Inbound Sales Day. If you guys want to have more tips and tricks or simply join me in a social media conversation, check out @Ways2Grow on Twitter. That's @WAYSTOGROW on Twitter. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. So again, thanks for joining me for Inbound Sales Day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your sessions.